Hi, this is Mike Sweeney from Saber Coaching. And I don't have a story from the edge, but I do have a story I'll call Crossing the Chasm. So there I was. It's Friday before vacation. The person who was about to take my current job was starting that Monday. I had communicated that I was ready to move on. I'd been doing a career search and we were parallel pathing hiring. I was open and communicative, but that added some pressure. And if you couple that with the economic conditions, the organization probably had some motivation for me to make my selection and move on. Come on, Snickers. I had an offer on the table that I felt was really exciting. It was an opportunity to partner with a great team, something I cared very much about. But there was some risk with it and some things that I hadn't quite figured out around healthcare and life insurance, etc. And then I also knew I was a leading candidate for a pretty significant step-up opportunity that had a lot of financial benefits to it. And I had just gotten off the phone with the CEO of that organization, and who was saying all the things that you would love to hear about the importance of the role you're about to take and the access that you'd have. So there I am, pressure to move, offer on the table, leading candidate, but not an offer in this other thing that is financially lucrative. And I've got all this in my mind of, paying for college. First kid starts in the fall, next one starts the next fall, making sure that healthcare is taken care of, doing finances and having an eye on a dream house. Just all those things were on top of this decision. And I had a goal in the beginning of the year, which was career shift. That was the broad category. And I told myself, okay, number one, I want to earn options. So I was feeling pretty good about the options that I had, and there had been some others that were coming along and some others that I had passed on. I wanted to negotiate from a position of strength. I felt like I was doing the best I could in that area, and I wanted to make a purposeful choice that was based on my values. I had already had some inklings that I knew what that was, and I wanted to finish well at my current organization and make sure I set the new person up for success to honor my team. And so there I was. And once I clarified what my values were and how the choices impacted me today and in the future, last story from the edge was the edge of courage. I had to make that courageous choice. So in a short amount of time, I accepted the job that was on purpose. I declined the other opportunity, and that was very difficult to do. When you get your eyes on some good financial targets and you pull yourself out of consideration, that was very hard. And then resign from your current organization. And honestly, I feel great. I feel great having made that courageous step. I feel like I have a sense of agency anytime I'm working with clients, and they can be what I'd call at choice, like making a resonant choice for them. And I feel like I'm on purpose. So the step that I took is related to what I consider my purpose is. I've used the phrase before, inspiring leaders to master their craft. And I feel like I get to do that with my coaching business. I also am very passionate about building resilient, inclusive, high-performing teams. And so I get to do that with Rally Bright as I join their team. And this connection between leadership development, team development feels like a narrowing a bit, but it really is using the best skills I have. It gives me the opportunity to learn. It gives me the opportunity to get out, speak, write, and be closer to making a difference to a great organization as it grows. So here's what I'm observing, learning, and trying as I have stepped over that threshold and I've crossed that chasm, or at least I've taken the first step beyond the edge. And I think there's going to be a whole new series called Beyond the Edge that follows here, so you can see what's going crazy once I'm in there. The first thing is taking the time and space to finish well, and that has two parts to it. One is tactically, the other is just emotionally. So making sure I document the work for the next person, make sure I give an overview of the team, and I save all the files in places that he can find. Little doggy interruption there. But in addition to all those tactical steps, just the feeling of working at a place for me, it was 6.5 years, and handing in the laptop and handing in the badge, walking out of the building knowing like, oh, I'm never going to do that again. I mean, you never know, there's always the boomerang opportunity, but there's a finality to it that brought a lot of stuff up, so giving myself some space to process that. I think also what's coming up is how important it is to continue to communicate to my network, so the people inside the organization, the people that I've known in that former role, and all of the people that helped me along the way find this resonant choice. And as I was, there's a tactical element to that, letting them know new email addresses and things like that. But also there's the emotional part that people really have gone, I feel like, out of their way to offer well wishes. And one thing I underestimated was the impact I feel like I must have had on my team, because they did some really wonderful things where they made this video, they gave me advice about starting this new career step, and a lot of it was advice that I had given them when they joined, and I almost wasn't ready. It felt, it's even, it feels not that humble to talk about, but I underestimated the impact I feel like I had, or their graciousness at saying goodbye and good luck. And so that one got me a little off guard on that Friday. That was thrown in there too with the decision, and it felt wonderful to hear. I think I'm more of a like Homer in the bushes disappearing kind of exit. So it was lovely, but just I needed to make sure that I built in some space to process that, and it was unexpected but wonderful. And then the last thing that I'm gonna try is to just be patient with myself. There's a lot of new things to learn. There's a lot of new skills to build in order to be successful in this new organization. And I need to be patient with myself. I'm not gonna get there in a day. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but focusing on some of the short-term wins and giving myself the space to learn and build relationships. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Like I said, there's probably gonna be a Beyond the Edge series coming soon. But thanks to all of you who have watched this and been on this journey with me. As I said before in some of the earlier videos, one way or the other, it's gonna be memorable. And I hope you have a good one.
This is Red Rocks! This is the Edge!